used your stimulus check to cop any of the newer crypto back 2 years ago, then you would be fucking good. Okay, GOODT. Anyways, the most important lesson during this pandemic is make sure your credit is good. So people be like, oh, it's bullshit. You need this, you need food. But I'm telling you right now. Yes, I understand that some of you guys can't pay your bills on time, and there might be ways, to get around that. But you can call these creditors. You can call these banks and try to get extensions. You'd be surprised. You got to be fucking patient. You'd have to be really going out there. I go hard on shit. Even to this day, sometimes I let it go. I'm like, fuck it, I'm not tripping on that. But on certain things, my credit, I'm not letting that shit go down. Refusal. Okay. I know there's guys out there with simple minds, like my boy, Lil Duval, who thinks credit is stupid. He's like, oh, you're getting all this shit to borrow shit. Why don't you just buy stuff when you can pay for it all in cash? You know what? I refuse to. I can't believe, like, Duval is very small-minded, very fucking, Florida boy in certain ways, whatever. And I look, I commend him for being able to buy his cars cash all the way through, his plane and his crib, and having, credit outside. Well, not credit, but having assets outside the country because the country's fucked up here and there. But if he had another solid financial advisor, then he'd realize he's dead wrong. But I'll get into that with this interview. Okay, enough about that. I'm just saying, like, credit is fucking very, very important. My mother said this to me a long time ago. She said it to me many times. My mom is fucking 80, right? And she still understands how serious it is with credit. But look, guys, we're going to take a really short break, and we're going to get into how to fix your credit and Credit 101, right, with credit101.com. Yo, Miles, man, hit the army off with some Lakey, and let's get everybody above a 700 FICO score when we get back. All right. Yo, what up, y'all? Happy New Year again. I'm not going to say Happy New Year anymore, but I just want to let you guys know it's been a minute since we've had the credit specialists on this podcast. Actually, it's credit101.com. But you guys remember, we have my boy Rob, a.k.a. @Ballin. His real fucking Instagram name is @Ballin. Like, what kind of nerve, right? That he wouldn't give me that fucking name. Anyways, he's a business manager for NFL athletes. We've chopped about credit before. They've been on the show twice. But today, we don't just have Rob on. We actually have the owner of Credit 101. This dude is a real serious dude. His name is Kyle. He kills it in the credit game. Let's get started with Rob. Rob, what's good, bro?
How's it going, my man? How you doing?
I'm good, dog. What have you been up to? I know you got COVID recently.
Dude, bro, can you tell my voice? Man, yeah, bro. This fucking COVID, man. It's killing me. But other than that, I'm all good, bro. I'm alive.
Okay. So, what's your credit score right now?
Right now, I'm at a 757, yo.
I'm not mad at that. Hey, I'm not
You're welcome. Yeah. That's kind of... Hey, see, everyone wants a pat on the back.
Just slide that in there.
Hey, you know what's funny is I just posted my credit score before my Instagram account got taken down as I got suspended. I had an 801. And Kyle, thank you very much for that, by the way. So, Kyle, we didn't have you on the first two times. It's an honor to have you on now. I know you're a very busy man, making all that money because you're saving people's lives. So, bro, you've been in the credit game for 10 years or so?
Yeah, just about 10 years, man. And I just wanted to get on here. Like you said, man, it's the new year. Everyone obviously has that fresh mindset. They want to change their life for the new year. And there's no better place to start than with credit. So I'm just happy to be on the show.
Yeah, for sure. We're a top 10 business show in 19 countries right now. So, Kyle, do me a favor, man. Tell me, could you please tell the people why you got into credit fixing and how you got in the game?
I come from very humble beginnings. So I grew up with a disabled mother. My father was in and out of prison. So I really didn't have nobody to support my dreams, no stepping stones, no family members that I could reach out to, nobody that I could ask for help. Right. So just me being a go-getter and thinking about the best possible way, that I could get some money, what's the next step? What's going to level the playing field for me? And the answer that I came up with was credit, right? That's something that I knew I could establish on my own, and that I could build relationships with people and eventually get loans and, take my business ventures to the next level. So I started dabbling around, playing with my own credit, built some good history. I started a motorcycle company at first. And then I realized, man, that I had a gift helping people fix their credit. I helped my mom, I helped my aunt, my cousin, a couple other family members. And I figured, man, nothing's more fulfilling than giving back and just showing people that come from the same beginnings that I have, that, hey, this is a stepping stone and this can help you guys get out of your current situation and take, whatever goals or dreams you have to that next level.
Wait a second, bro. Hold on, man. Are you trying to tell me that you did this shit on some like just self-experimental shit? Like you didn't even do it you didn't have like professional help somewhere else. You messed around with yours, then a couple family members, and then you became a professional in the credit game? You didn't go to school?
No, that's originally how it got started, man. I don't really think there's a school out there to teach you about how to repair your credit. I mean, these vultures, these banks out there, they make money off of you having bad credit. So there's really no one out there that teaches this. So it's all self-taught. Obviously the power of the internet, man. If you look hard enough, you can figure things out, and then trial and error. And like I said, I've been doing this for 10 years. So, things get better with time. The more you practice, the better you get at it. My teachings are the way that I go about things are different than anyone else in the industry. I believe we are the industry leaders when it comes to repairing people's credit, and that our methods are second to none, and no one out there is doing what we're doing as fast as we are doing it.
It's interesting. I've spoke about this very often, especially early on in the podcast when we started over 2 years ago. And I told people I have screwed my credit up 3 times. Completely terrible, like, 400, 500s. For me to get even in the 650 area, at least at that point, I could start getting a decent car. Yes, the interest rate's going to suck, but, that was important to me. To even get to a 680 so I could be on a tier 2 or tier 3 on a Mercedes-Benz where they won't even go and look at anybody under a 680, right? So it's like now you getting me at 801 is like, I think my next question getting into this is, nobody knew the pandemic was coming. Once they kind of announced it, and obviously I was talking about the COVID situation around late January, February. I was like, yo, shit's about to get serious. People are like, yo, you fucking need to relax, blah, blah. Whether anyone believes in the virus or not, whatever, it's changed the country forever. It's changed the world forever. And one thing I've been wanting to ask you for about 10 months now is, how important is credit during the pandemic, Kyle?
I mean, credit can be a saving grace for some people. Like you said, you don't have to believe in the virus, but I mean, you can believe in that crash in the economy. Everyone's feeling it. People are out of work, dependent on loans, waiting for that signal to say, hey, I can go back and make some money and provide for my family. So if you have better credit, like you said, the interest rate might be higher if you have bad credit. So you are paying more for the loans that you do have if you do have bad credit. And if you had good credit, at least you had something to fall back on. Right? You had banks that trusted you. Maybe you had cards, available lines of credit to help get you through this pandemic. Maybe you could refinance, take out loans on your home, whatever it was. So the people that had good credit, when the pandemic hit, they're obviously in a much better position than those that didn't. And we're depending on that week to week paycheck.
Did you notice, like, let's say like summer 2020, did you notice your business going up or going down? You know what I'm saying? Where people hitting you like, oh shit, I got to get my credit fixed. Like,
hey, my business is booming during the pandemic. I mean, I was fortunate enough to be one of the people that got an increase in business.
I figured, man.
The demand is definitely there. The demand is at an all-time high because, like you to your point, people out of work, even if they do have good credit, some of them can't afford to pay those credit card bills back. And that's where I come in, right? I can help try to remove some of that debt that you guys have and get you in a better position for a fraction of the cost.
Damn. It's funny you said that. I just took advantage when the interest rates dropped below 2%. I was like, yo, fuck this. On my main residence, I was like, yo, I'm about to fucking, refinance. Like, it was a huge difference, And I have a jumbo loan. I don't have it's in the multi-millions. And for me to chop it down quite a bit, it helped. I don't know if, and again, so you guys know, this is on the fly. I have a couple questions I was thinking about, and there's some general things for you guys who are out there inquiring about credit. But this is something that he has no idea I'm about to ask him about. And I don't know if you know this, Kyle, or if you have an answer, or you could tell me why. But Capital One, I had a $40,000 Visa with them. I don't use it very often, whatever. But I got a great credit score, thanks to you, obviously. And I've had great credit for a few years now. During like September, October of 2020, when shit was really getting bad, Capital One dropped my credit line from 45K to 10,000. And my credit's excellent. Why the fuck you think they did that?
They're just mitigating the risk. I mean, they know that, people are starting to fall behind, and they want to go ahead and take it away from you before you have the opportunity to max that card out, just in case that's something you were relying on. Right. So that's 100% the reason. And then too, real quick, man, what they're trying to do too is, a lot of these big banks, they want to give out these government-backed loans. So like these EIDL, these PPP, stuff like that, to where if the consumer isn't paying it back, the government's liable to pay it back, right? So a lot of people were getting in on that because it was more of a better bet, a guarantee for their money.
Right. So you said government. It's interesting. I have a question. Are credit reporting agencies a part of the government?
No, they are privately owned, for-profit agencies. So they're definitely there to make money, and they're not owned by the government, but they do have rules and regulations in place that allow us to dispute any negative items that you may have on your credit report.
So Equifax, TransUnion, Experian, they're all privately owned.
Correct.
Oh, shit. So what's the difference between a Vantage score and a FICO score? I was actually curious for my own personal reference.
It's just the way that they calculate your score and what they're using to come up with the number. I tell a lot of people that score really isn't important. Score is just like a general idea of what's on your credit profile. The main thing that people look at is history, right? So you can pull your credit from a few different lenders, and everyone's going to have a different score for you. It's going to fluctuate depending on what system they're using to come up with your score. The main thing they're looking for is similar accounts. So if you're getting a home loan, they're looking for home loans or rental history. If you're getting an auto loan, they're looking for auto loans or auto history. If you're getting a credit card, they're looking for similar credit lines. So you can have very low credit lines and a good credit score and still not qualify for high loans, right? Still not qualify for high amounts of credit. So the main thing that people want to worry about is their history. That's a lot more important than just your credit score.
Yeah, so guys, as you know, I have a lot of cars. And not only just regular cars, I have high ticket cars from upwards of $1.8 million vehicles, and I have, a whole bunch of, different loans, leases, everything. So my next question is, I'm sorry, let me tell you guys something real quick. I didn't know that there's something called car credit, whereas you may have a 720 and the next guy might have an 800. And, he might own a bunch of cars outright, might finance here and there, but doesn't have revolving credit or have a lot of history of leases and paid off loans and stuff. Whereas I do. And let's say his credit score is higher than mine significantly. But now when it comes to getting a loan at a better interest rate, I'm probably going to get approved better because of how many, loans and car loans and car leases I've had. So he is telling, that's something that I had to learn. And I'm fucking old as hell. I had to learn that shit. Like, I learned it recently that car credit was totally different than just regular credit. What can you do about bankruptcy? How hard is that to remove? Can you remove that? How long does bankruptcy stay on your credit file? Like, that's like one of the highest asked questions from my followers.
So yeah, I'm glad you asked that. A lot of people think you cannot remove bankruptcy. You actually can remove bankruptcy. And the thing is that bankruptcies themselves don't actually affect your credit score. It's the accounts that were closed that were tied to the bankruptcy. Excuse me. A bankruptcy goes on your public records, so it doesn't actually affect your credit score at all. And now if you have accounts that were closed and settled during that bankruptcy, obviously those closed accounts are going to affect your credit score, right? So the first thing that we do is we have to attack those accounts. Once we remove everything that ties you to that bankruptcy, then we can go ahead and dispute the actual bankruptcy from your public record. But we have gotten them removed in the past. It is a case-by-case scenario, so I don't want to make any promises, any guarantees. But the best thing that any of your listeners can do is they can call in, they can reach one of my team members, we can review their credit, and we give them realistic expectations going forward, because every single person's credit is different from the next person, right? So, just because I was able to remove it one person doesn't mean I'll be able to remove it for the next. But we do free consultations to all your listeners that are calling in, that want to call in. We'll review their credit. We'll give them, a true, honest answer and let them know if we can help them or we can't.
Amazing. Before I even get into all the latest, like when I do the drops and I do all of this stuff and the call outs, what is that phone number they can get the free consultation at?
For any of your listeners that want to call in, they want to find out exactly what we can do for them, get that free consultation, they can reach us at 888-234-2199. And again, that's 888-234-2199.
Okay. So my next question is, what's the price difference between credit101.com and all these other credit building companies that are on Instagram, that are on Facebook, that are all over the internet, that you see all these, when you type in credit, all those SEO ads come up. Like, how competitive are you guys with pricing?
Be honest with you, man, it's not about pricing. It's more about the service that you're going to get and the fact that we're not going to go ahead and damage your chances of repairing your credit from the very beginning. But for all of your listeners that do want to call in, we are doing up to 60% off. Typically, we charge $2,500, and we're doing $997 for any of your listeners. And they can sign up directly at credit101.com/BenBaller. We always take care of your listeners. But to my point back to about our service, there's a lot of things that most credit repair companies do that actually damage your chances of getting these items removed. And they help validate the collection accounts that are reporting to the three main agencies. And then by the time you contact us, a lot of the damage is already done. And maybe we would have been able to get these accounts off had you originally contacted us. But now that they already have the information that they're looking for to validate the debts, it's a lot harder for us to do it later on.
Damn, I didn't know that. I didn't know that credit fixing people could fuck your credit up even worse. That's crazy, especially when they're trying to help you. Let's say one of my listeners pays $997. You evaluate them and their credit is pretty bad. They got late payments, 30 days, charge-offs, all that good shit, right? I mean, how long do you think, what should they expect? Could this be fixed hopefully in 6 months, 3 months, a year? Like what's a typical person with, 3 or 4 really bad, charge-offs and things like that? Like what's the typical time frame?
I mean, again, it is a case-by-case scenario. So the best way for us to determine is to look over, their credit report. But typically we start to see results within the first 45 days. After that 45 days has passed, we have a better understanding of what we need to do going forward to attack the items that haven't came off. Within that first 45 days, what we're doing is reaching out to any collection accounts or any negative remarks that are reporting to the three main credit bureaus, and we're asking them for information on these accounts, right? So once we get that information back, we're able to make a better evaluation of exactly what we need to do moving forward.
Right.
I'll just touch the point, man, that you were saying, like, you didn't know these other credit agencies could go ahead and actually fuck up the credit repair process. And just to give you an example of exactly how they can do that is a lot of these credit monitoring services have something that's called an arbitration agreement, right? So Experian being the main one. So if you go to Experian's privacy policy, and you can look this up online, any of your listeners, and you go to section 23, and I believe it's section A, it states that you're signing an arbitration agreement and you're giving up your right to take Experian to litigation, right? So if you're using Experian to monitor your credit during the credit repair process, right, they know you have this arbitration agreement assigned, and they'll literally just throw your disputes in the trash because they know that they're null and void and you cannot take them to litigation, meaning that your threats mean nothing. And I see a lot of credit repair companies telling people to use Experian to monitor their credit. And a lot of people call over from other agencies telling us that they went through the credit repair process while they were using Experian. And a lot of times they're given access to their bank account, and a lot of their information that's going to help validate these debts. I mean, if it doesn't make sense that you can't use Experian and fight Experian at the same time, right? So a lot of these places don't even give you the heads up from the very beginning that you shouldn't do this. And it's very damaging to the credit repair process. And then again, if you went through, an agency that wasn't aware and didn't fill you in, obviously you may not see the results that you were looking for.
Damn. So can you tell the followers what types of things can be removed from a credit sweep?
We've removed literally everything. I mean, I've removed child support, bankruptcies, collections, late payments, repossessions. I mean,
Ben's about to laugh at.
you
Holy
name it,
shit,
we've gotten
fucking
rid of.
shit. Dude, when he said child support, bro, Kyle, I'm sorry. I didn't look at Doc.
I didn't mean to throw you under the bus.
Dude, do me a favor. I don't have child support. Obviously, I don't have child support. I have 3 kids. I'm married. But Rob, you dumb fuck. You fucked the whole thing up because you fucking blew my mind when you just said that right now. Hold on. I'm sorry. You could start all over again. You can fucking you've removed child support from credit? Holy shit.
Yeah, we've gotten child support removed. Correct, man.
Okay, sorry. So keep going with the credit sweep. I'm so sorry. Keep going.
I mean, medical bills. I mean, there's literally nothing that we haven't removed. Now, again, this is a case-by-case scenario, and it is a two-way street here, right? What we like to do is educate our clients and tell them what they shouldn't do during the credit repair process. Obviously, and we like to do our job, to the best of our abilities. If the client is not listening to the advice that we give them, it's going to directly affect the results, right? So some people listen, they don't answer the call when debt collectors are calling in. They're not using anything other than Identity IQ to monitor their credit. And obviously they're going to have the best results, right? And then you get other people out there that are answering the phone, trying to negotiate with debt collectors and basically just going against everything that we advise. And it's helping to validate these debts, right? So results definitely vary. It is a two-way street. We can only educate our clients and hope that they follow the rules. But the ones that listen, they most likely are the ones that are getting this child support removed.
Jesus Christ. So another thing too, that is probably the third highest question that people have asked. When you get something, a derogatory, removed from their credit report, what are the chances of that coming back on?
So it is possible that it may come back on. And usually when it does come back, it's because that debt collector now sold the debt to somebody else. And the person that bought the debt was unaware that this had already been challenged and removed from the credit reporting agencies. So they may go ahead and report this again. Now, if that happens, I mean, we definitely will go ahead and attack this and get it removed for you again. It's nothing to worry about. You just go ahead, bring it to our attention. Most of the time, my agents catch this on their own, and we'll go ahead and send out another round of disputes for you. But if by the small chance that we don't, you go ahead, give us a call. We'll make sure we take care of it.
That's fucking crazy because I've seen it where, like, say for instance, I owed Ford like in 2002. I had a Harley Davidson F-150 and I let a buddy of mine borrow it. And then this guy tells me he gets jacked by the Hells Angels and drives the car to Canada. Don't ask me what the fuck, whatever. I never saw the car again. So I'm like, yo, dude, this is a lease. It was like $800 a month. Like, I'm not fucking paying this car. Like I told people, stolen, boom. But obviously Ford's like, hey, bro, they didn't say, hey, bro, but they're like, hey, you signed up for this lease. That's not our fucking problem. It got stolen. Boom. You got to pay this. And I was like, fuck that. So it was a loss. It wasn't about the lease. It was like, it was an issue. And it lingered. Then all of a sudden, one other company had it. So they started reporting, the negative on this, boom. And then another company bought it like 4 years ago. Then I got my credit fixed. And then somehow, some way it went to court. I don't know. I lost fucking something. Then they put a judgment, all this crazy shit that has happened. So guys, it's really tricky when you fuck up your credit. It's really imperative that you listen to everything that this man is saying because he doesn't come on the fucking show. You think when I was getting my credit fixed that fucking Kyle was talking to me? It doesn't matter if I'm fucking worth 8 figures. That motherfucker is busy, man. If you see this guy's room, this guy looks like the fucking Terminator. He's crazy, he ain't got time to fucking mess around with, some small penny ante shit, but he fixed my credit and he's going to, I'm going to ask him, Kyle, my wife had a random hospital bill pull up. I don't even know how the fuck. So I'm going to obviously have to hire you for that, to remove that one derogatory. And I think it's probably changed. She has one derogatory and her credit's still in the 700s, but that one thing probably is going to change a lot for her, because little shit like that. My last question for you is, once you fix everyone's credit or you fix your client's credit and they're done with your services, do you help them or can you help them or advise them how to get a credit card with a decent limit or something like that, like who to apply with and who gives, credit lines and things like that out? Or do you that's not part of your services?
Yeah, no, 100%, man. We like to lead our clients, and put them on the right path after we repair their credit. Any of your listeners that want to give me a follow, I mean, I'm at international Kyle, international_Kyle, on Instagram. I'm constantly dropping gems, telling people what they can do to rebuild their credit. what they can do to add positive lines of credit history, and just dropping tips out there about what are the best cards to use and how you can continue to get low or no interest loans, so you can use this money again, man, to just get a fresh start, and maybe, chase your dreams.
Well, there it is, you guys. Follow international_Kyle. We're obviously for you listeners, for the BTB Army. Go to www.credit101.com/BenBaller. And not only will you get this credit consultation, fixing all that for $997 instead of the $2,500 or $3,000 fee, whatever it is, not just will you get that discount, but you're going to be pushed to the front of the line to get your credit fixed. And I know a lot of people were asking about it. I know for a fact that hundreds of listeners have signed up. I think people just forgot to go back to, I don't know if it was episode 81, I don't know if it was episode 115, I don't know. But this episode now has Credit 101 on here. So is there anything else that you want? Is there a gem that either one of you, Rob or Kyle, wanted to drop before we get off this interview?
I've been stealing the show, man. I'll let Rob take it away.
No, hey, no, you keep saying you're the one who helped me. So, I mean, I have a finance degree, Ben. We talked about this before, and none of this credit shit was ever taught in school, stuff like that. So, I mean, I still learn. When I had that ding on my credit, they took it off. I always thought credit was a scam until they did it, and until they helped some of my football players, and that's why I brought Kyle on. He had to, drop some gems.
Real quick, man, the consultation's free. So just if anyone's getting some confusion out there, I know you said you get the consultation.
Sorry, my bad. Sorry about that.
I mean, we'll give you the consultation for free. I'll let you know exactly what we can do to help you. Right? If you want to jump on, by all means, go to credit101.com/BenBaller and just sign up. Because you're endorsing us. We fixed your credit. We fixed Rob's credit. But if you do want to go ahead and go the extra step, get that free consultation, and just hear it from directly from us, what we can do for you, by all means, call in, and one of my agents will definitely take care of you.
And just for the record, guys, I have used several different places before. I have ones that fixed it. I have other things. I found a place that, I don't know why, I think I might have Googled it. And what I did was, they were like, hey, we'll remove every single file for $300. And if you do this many, if you have 5 or more derogatories, we'll give you a better deal. Look, at the end of the day, if your credit's like bad, and you got 3 or 4 things, it's the $997 is a joke. I'm being dead honest with you, because he can change it to where, getting it done right. Think about the spending power and the amount of money. And some people, okay, you know what? I'm actually going to ask you this, Kyle. I have friends who bash this all the time, say flexing your credit score is so lame, blah, blah, whatever. And I know that Kyle said the credit score is not important, but it is, because you can't just have a 500 and think you're going to get a fucking loan. Okay, yeah, between 700 and 800 it could be different. Things could be different. One person could just have, good credit and, kind of had minor loans here and there and stayed good, whatever. Then you have one guy who's aggressive and, every time I do a loan on the car, it drops 40 points here and there. But credit is important. And Kyle, what do you think about those people that say, oh, well, it's stupid having credit because basically you're just borrowing more money and you're just putting yourself in debt? What do you say about that?
They have no idea what they're talking about, man. Some of these cards are giving you 5% cash back on your money. I mean, I've saved just alone using credit cards to run my ads this year. I've saved over $500,000 on ad spend just by my credit card rewards. So these people have no idea what they're talking about. They don't know the advantages of credit, and they're just not educated on the system. And just to your point, credit score is important. I just wanted to emphasize that history is more important than credit score. If you got a 500 credit score, you probably have shit history, right? Yeah. If you have a 700 or 800 credit score, you might have some better history. So your score definitely does matter. That's just a quick insight. I can look at someone's credit score, and if it's 500, I'm not even going to take the time of day to go over it. But if you do have a 7 or plus credit score, that's when history starts to, come into play. Like you said, man, if you have auto loans, you're going to get, better interest rates on your cars, and someone might give you an auto loan a lot faster than someone with an 800 because you got more car loans. So just to touch on your point again, man, definitely credit is king. And these people are just not educated, and we're here to help educate them, bring them up to speed, and tell them exactly what they need to do, to shift that mindset and understand the advantages that credit does offer.
And to wrap it up, I want to say this, guys. Understand, just because I can afford a $3 million, $4 million, $2 million house, $1 million boat, whatever it may be. I'd rather use that cash to leverage for something else, whether it be a business, anything else. So me getting that, at just that really attractive low APR, that helps me a lot, and it's nothing. Think about when you finance, for those you have decent credit, whatever, you have an Apple Card, and you finance your Apple phone for, $1,000 phone for whatever, $14. I mean, think about it. It's nothing. Some people are like, okay, but then it's like, it's just use it to your advantage. And I got to say one more time, not dissing Kyle at all, but you know what, Rob, I do appreciate you bringing Kyle to our platform. Kyle, I do appreciate you bringing all the information and you giving this offer to our listeners. So guys, thank you again for coming on. Very informative. Please make sure you go to credit101.com/BenBaller. If you skip back a little bit before, you'll hear the number to call. The consultation is free, and he's giving, it's like 60% off on the credit, fixing. And on top of that, he's pushing you to the front of the line. So guys, again, thank you guys very much. I appreciate your time.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Awesome. It's great talking with you.
Yes, sir. All right, yo, Miles, man.